All right, welcome back. Unfortunately, I ran out of space on my iPhone. It took me about an hour to move everything over to my computer, but here we go. Ultimately, I went ahead, I was so excited to see if it was the actual part that was broken, to see if it worked. I'll tell you in a minute. And it might be good news, might be bad news, but that's how it works when you're working with these things, problem solving. Once again, this was one of the more difficult things I think I've done to be such a little bitty sensor type thing. And I think I called it a pressure switch earlier. I think this is called a oil pressure sender. So let's not get that confused. I'm not certain if I'm using the right terminology. Once again, I am not an ASE certified mechanic. I'm just pretty handy, and I can usually fix things that go wrong with my vehicle. I don't like spending $70 an hour to a mechanic if I can fix it. Once again, though, if this, you saw how hard, and you heard me talking, if you got the money for it, the money to blow to a mechanic, unfortunately I got 4 children. I need my $100, so I try to fix it myself. If I had it truthfully, and after seeing how hard it is, I probably would have taken it to him, but now it's so easy that I've seen it now. I know how to do it. I don't know if this makes sense to you, but if I had the same problem again, I would fix it, and I think it would take me half the time. It took me approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes to fix it. I went ahead and put everything back together. When I first started, you could have, if you look back at the video, when I ran out of space, the wrench was actually on it back there in the back of the video. If you paused it, you would have been able to see my wrench back here in the back. I'm going to tell you what I did in between the videotape. The old part, of course I can't, oh here it is, it's over here. The old part, get it focused here. You see the little clip on this back side? The wire goes down inside here, and there's a flange clip over here. You're going to have to pull out on that flange and then pull up on the wire. So once you get your hand, hopefully small hand back there, I had to kind of like wrap my finger around the wire and then pull out, and it finally snapped out. It took me approximately 25-30 minutes just to get the wire off. And then the initial torque on this bolt was pretty large. I was pretty surprised because the one I'm replacing it with is all brass. I think this one's all brass too. It's just been heated up. I don't know. But anyway, it took a little bit to break it, so I had to modify my tool options. I think my kid just grabbed one of my tools, but I'll show you everything I used. Remember that little bitty wrench I had? I got an elbow on it. That kind of helped a little bit, I think, but ultimately this is what I used to break it off with. I had the regular 3/8 inch ratchet, an extension, give you an idea of the size of the extension. I think that's a 6 or 8 inch extension. But these are the tools I would suggest you have. If you don't have these, once again, I'd probably just go ahead and have it done, because the amount you'd have to pay for decent tools, you could just have it done. But once you got that pulled off, you got to be careful not to drop the new part back there in the back, because if you drop that part back there, it's going to be really hard to find. If you don't have any mechanical fingers, if you don't know what that is, it's a little device that's flexes, and it goes back there, and you can grab a part or something, or a magnetic tool to grab it with. I don't know if the brass isn't magnetic, but who knows, might be something on it that's magnetic. But you don't want to drop it ultimately, so you just need to be really careful when you put it back there. It wasn't too hard to get it started. It's very coarse threads. Once I got it started and got it torqued on, the wire was pretty easy. Just remember, when you go to put the wire back on, it only goes on one way, so that's nice, so you can't mess up. The wire is flanged, as I think you can see down on the inside of this. You cannot twist it the wrong way. It'll only connect this one direction, and you're going to push it on until you hear that snap, and that snap is going to come from this flange type thing that's on the wire. It's going to pop over this little clip. If you don't hear that snap, that wire is not on there all the way. And then even once it snaps on, something we did in the military always, you kind of, I think it's push, pull, push, just to give it a good tug to see if it's on, and then, push, pull, push, and always push it back down at the end to make sure you have a good connection. That way you know it's connected after you hear that pop. Alright, my outcome is, I'm still concerned about the oil leaks, obviously, but once again, I think that might be due to the pressure. Once again, I'm no ASE certified mechanic, but got some pretty good knowledge. The sucking kind of scares me because the sieve, there's a little, it's kind of like a strainer that keeps the oil pump from sucking up any stray material inside your oil pan underneath the car. When that sieve, the one on this truck, the Chevy 1500 and the Suburbans, they tend to, I guess, get gummed up. I don't know the design. This is all coming from an ASE mechanic. This is his words. He said that they fail frequently, not the pump itself, but the sieve. You will hear sucking noises from the inside of your car when you go to start it. And I heard that sucking sound once or twice, but that could have been, I don't know, hopefully it was just due to the high pressure at trying to suck up the oil real quick. My oil could have been cold. I don't know. But ultimately, if it is your pump, if this doesn't fix your problem, I would go have the pump taken out. I'm not certain the full process, but 5 hours worth of labor. He said something about the cross member underneath having to be taken off. I'm not certain the process, but like I said before, if that was the case with my Suburban, I was going to have him do it. I didn't really want to pay that, but oh well. But hey, guess what? Lucky for me, when I hooked it up, I went inside and I will show you. Excuse my messy Suburban. We go inside here. Like I said before, this is your oil gauge right here. Mine, as soon as I would turn it, even to the accessory position, you see how my fuel gauge and everything moves. Right at this point, mine would peg at 80, okay? And I think that might be a telltale sign of your switch being, or not the switch, but the pressure sender. All it is maybe a kind of a sensor type thing. I think that may be a telltale sign that it's bad. But anyway, mine was pegged over here in this 80 range, okay? It wouldn't go any further. But now, let me turn it off for a second. We're going to start it and watch what I got now. Okay. Perfect. Like right now, it'd been already at the 80 point. I'm sitting at about 40-something PSI. Means my engine, the rings are pretty good. I got good pressure. Another thing too, when you got that real high pressure, I think your engine burns more gas. I'm not certain the mechanics behind it. I guess I could read a little bit, but I know it seemed like I was burning some crazy fuel the other day. I had some places I had to go, and I had to drive about 40 miles with my PSI like that. Hopefully it didn't damage the truck, but I've been considering trading it in anyway, but trying to find something to hold a family of 6. It's kind of hard to get rid of this when it's paid off. But anyway, here it is. I hope this helped you guys. I think it's a lot better, even though it's a lot lengthier. I gave you guys plenty of info. Once again, this is a Z71 model, but most of the 5.3s are all going to be the same. You get into those LTZs, they have 6.0 engines in them. If you got that same problem, it might be in the same area. I don't know. I would suggest looking at some other videos. Unfortunately, this is the only engine I got to show you. But I wish you guys good luck and farewell.